Up further. Long time no rock and roll, everyone. I thought I might do a lesson today on King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizards, God is in the Rhythm, and how good of a song it is to learn when it comes to navigating your way around the fretboard. I will turn this down ever so slightly so my neighbours don't hate me. It's a song in the major key of G major. And one of the reasons I think it is so good is because you can learn it, you can learn any song like this really, but it's a good song to learn different shapes of the major scale, different boxes, and how you can interweave? You can navigate between them. Anyway, so what I'll do is I'll put on screen the shapes that I'm combining, but I'm not going to run you through like, hey, do this, and do this. I'm not going to do that, but you should be able to, by your ear, because it's quite a slow song, figure out what you're supposed to be doing, right? Okay. Second thing I'll point out is the song goes G major, E minor, C major, D major. It's a 1, 6, 4, 5 in G. A large part of the song's motif is the change from landing on the G minor, home, the root of the progression, to highlighting the E minor. So you'll see that in the this is within the G. This is this G, and then you go straight to E minor. So one of the things you can look for when practicing this song, it starts with an A to a B, so find that on your fretboard somewhere. I recommend these top 3 strings, or bottom 3, depending on how you hold a guitar and think about space and time. That's the first thing. And then ending on an E minor shape. So the 3 E minor shapes I'm going to work with today are this one, this E minor, the classic E minor. I don't know what I mean by that. Down here it would be this. And then the E minor here, which is nothing more than your D minor shape up to an E, and then played up an entire octave. Oops. So we're going to be landing on those. First place we're going to start is on the B string, and we're going to go A to B. Okay, and that's using these shapes here. I'll put them so they're not, well, I suppose I could cover my face, but I'm not going to do that. Second, on the high E string, that's that E minor there. And then probably the most fun is your basic box 1, I think it is. Or you can do it like this. And if you have all three of these, you've now unlocked, like if you think about it starting down here. Oops, sorry. Not very good at guitar. You've unlocked this part of the guitar, you've unlocked this part of the guitar though. This part of the guitar, so now we're going all the way up to the 7th fret, and then you finish it up here. And now you've unlocked so much of the fretboard. As soon as you can get that into your ears, as soon as you can hear the intervals after practicing and practicing and practicing, you've now figured out how to play this song in 3 different spots across all 5 boxes of the major pentatonic, or the major scale, because there is what is it, the 7th is in there. Yeah, so I recommend practicing those over this little progression that we've got going on here. I'll show you what I mean. I'll go through all of them now. One, two. Three time. We'll do that one again so I sound more cool. And then we can do the final thing all on one string. That's my recommended, sorry, there's birds outside. But that's my recommended practice for this song. Like I mean, one of the things when I first started learning is there is this, this sort of mix where you go from trying to learn theory and trying to make music, and quite often, like, you know, you learn the theory, and I think a lot of guitarists, myself included, we try and translate the theory to the guitar. We're trying to learn guitar as opposed to music theory. And like, honestly, I think that's how a lot of people play. That's how I play. I play by feel. You get there by repetition, by like hearing things in your ears. You eventually will pick up what the intervals sound like. So I think that this way of practicing is great because for the first 6 or 7 years I was playing guitar, every single solo and every single melody and riff and lick I made up was just this bastardized version of "Wish You Were Here" by Pink Floyd. I remember seeing an interview with Dean Wynn on Guitar Moves where he says that every solo he does is just this. It's Mr. Blue Sky or something by ELO, and everything he does is just a sort of knockoff of that. So yeah, that is eventually how you figure your way around. But this song is slow enough and simple enough, and also like catchy enough that I think learning it in these different spots can really help you unlock the part of the guitar where a lot of solos and lead stuff come from. So King Gizzard don't have a ton of songs that are purely major. I mean, like the last song of theirs I taught, which was Mycelium, it was a major scale song, and I know that they've mentioned themselves that writing in major is difficult to not sound predictable and boring. So remembering, starting the lick with a A to B, and then ending on an E minor triad, and you will be able to play that lick anywhere. Thank you. Hope there's a lesson in there somewhere.